Welcome back to Schmattz Outdoors, everyone. This is going to be part 2 of a water check. We're going to be doing these double videos, so coming out on Wednesdays and coming out on Saturdays, basically throughout my water trapping. So I hope you enjoy that. Again, so part 1 would have been on Wednesday's video, so if you haven't watched that, I encourage you to go back and watch part 1 before you watch part 2 here. Again, part 2 is going to be roughly the second half of the day, the second half of the catches I made. Once I kind of pull my muskrat line, we're going to go back to one-a-day videos coming out on noon on Saturdays. So stay tuned for those. There's a lot of season left to go, let's put it that way. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned. If you guys got any questions or anything like that, you can leave them down below in the comments. I'm more than happy to let you guys know what I'm doing. If you guys don't mind, hit that subscribe button. That would help me out a little bit. Leave a comment, whether it's good or bad. If you like my videos or not, leave a comment down below. That'd be great. Otherwise, enjoy the video. All right, so I was hesitant to even do this yesterday, and I did. So I'm in this abandoned farmyard again. I got the abandoned house over there. I've been catching skunks. Yesterday, I had a beautiful big raccoon caught in this set. And today I got a beautiful big rat caught in there. So yesterday, when I've been resetting these, I haven't been rebaiting, re-luring, re-putting oil or fish oil around them, you know, like trailing scent. Yesterday I did that when I reset this trap. You know, I put a little part of what's on this thing here, and then I dribbled a little on that tree, some Cavan's moonshine. But yeah, and I caught a rat. So I've been struggling through the rats in this yard, but I've also made a couple raccoon catches in this set. So it's like, well, how much do you want to keep resetting it every stinking day with the hopes to catch a nice big raccoon like the one I had yesterday? So we'll get this stupid guy out of here. All the rest of the sets in the yard are untouched today, so that's kind of a first. All right, that's the first land animal of the day right there. Big old giant rat. All right, we'll get him out of here. Well, I guess sometimes you just can't believe what landowners tell you. So landowner here told me that specifically that he wasn't having any issues with raccoons, but I beg to differ. So what we have is just this little hobby farm here again. I have a coyote set on the southeast corner over there. This is on the northeast corner, and as you can see, we got ourselves a little raccoon. He's not very big. Surprisingly, he's not muddy, but actually, like, even the top dirt here isn't really sticking to my boots or anything like that. So yeah, I think this is the 4th raccoon in this set. 5 in this yard. So we'll get him out of there, get this set remade. You know, the landline wasn't going to go blank today. I didn't see that happening. So all right, we'll get him out of here, get moved on. All right, so we're to the next sets right after that raccoon. We got this slough here. I got some sets over by the culverts over there. But I do have a couple baited sets right here. It looks like I have a very small muskrat, but in my 110 here. Yeah, he is not big. He's only like 6 inches long, but foothold there is still working. I do have some catches by the culverts, but we'll get this reset and then we'll turn you guys back on. All right, so we're over by the culverts in that slough. Both sets on that end of the culvert are still working. I had a double over there yesterday. This trap here, I had a heck of a time. It snapped me like 3 times and now it's set off with nothing in it. So we're gonna actually put a different trap in there. But over here, so they looked like they kind of had a path over this way and then a path over this way where they're coming up, plugging this culvert. And we got ourselves a nice big rat. Again, that's part of the nice thing about setting that type of a set. I've been catching a lot bigger muskrats on average in a trail set than in like a baited set, you know, on average size. Let's see, and then right here, I have a mink set. And it's still there. So all I did is just slid my fingers up the slide wire until I found the slide bracket, and then I could tell my trap is still there. And I could tell it isn't set off because I could see it. But that culvert is just right in here. Threw a float in here. I didn't want to get way out there because it gets fairly deep pretty quick out there, but I see today we got ourselves a muskrat in there. So we'll get this set remade. We'll get those doctored up over there, and I do have 2 more down across the road on the other end, but we'll turn you back on if we got anything down there. Well, I can see here that my mink catching did not work out as planned. So I got this culvert going through. I had the muskrat ate yesterday, so I put a portable pocket in over there, and I'm pretty sure I got a great big muskrat caught in there. So I got a 110 right here, which is still set, but it's got some debris in there, so I'll get that cleaned out. And over here, I have another 110. This is the one that the mink had eat yesterday. Looks like a good sized muskrat there. And then what I did right here is my portable pocket right here. And I put my trap kind of on that side of it, and the pocket itself is what's staking that trap down. But as you can see, I got a great big muskrat caught in there. He's kind of feisty, so he's just chilling there alive. So we'll get him dispatched, and we'll get moved on here. I'm actually gonna do a little different here. So what I did is I just run the portable pocket through the Hags bracket on my foothold there. But if a guy would happen to catch a raccoon, he might be able to pull my portable pocket out of there. So we're gonna stake that trap down a little different as long as I'm here. I've been thinking about it all night. I'm like, I hope a raccoon doesn't mess with that set. But apparently a muskrat messed with it. So inside that pipe, I got a chunk of carp for bait. So I wouldn't think the muskrats would mess with it, but they do apparently. So we'll get these 2 sets remade, and like I said, we'll doctor up this mink set, get it so maybe if I do catch a raccoon, he can't haul my trap off. So, all right, guys. Well, landline's been awfully slow today, which is kind of a relief. Well, so we'll just quick show you where we're at. We're by the Beaver house here. Kind of looks like my set over there might be messed up where I had put my, or where the foothold is over there. I'll walk out there and investigate. But over here on this side, we got ourselves a muskrat in my conibear again. Can you guys see him? Yeah, he's right here. So there's a decent sized muskrat in my conibear there again. Today it doesn't look like anything. Yesterday it looked like whatever was going kind of around this side of my trap when it was set off like that, but today it doesn't look like that, but there is a muskrat there. So we didn't get skunked down here. Let's walk over and check this foothold. The foothold was the number 1 set anyway. I figured a set over there was just going to be kind of a backup in case there was like a whole family in here. You know, if there were some little ones or whatever and they're going over there to chew, you know, or to cut feed for the winter. You know, a nice blind set like that, but doesn't matter if you keep catching muskrats in there. All right. So my trap was right down here. I mean, it doesn't look too disturbed, even though there almost looks like raccoon tracks down there. My trap should be down here. I don't see nothing floating yet. Let's see here. Luckily, this whole setup here isn't too bad really to set. It's not like I'm, 4 foot deep in the water or anything like that. Sorry, I'm getting my gloves on here, guys. All right. So again. Yep, my trap is gone. Get my stake pulled. I figured, like I said, if anything, there maybe be a pair in here. There's no beaver in there. I could tell as soon as I pulled it out that it's not heavy enough for that. We got cattails and a chunk of stick. I'm not sure what's going on here. But cattails and a stick don't drag it to the end of my drowning wire here, or drowning pole. Well, that's unfortunate. Like I said, and it almost looks like right here, I don't know if it's muskrat or maybe it might even be mink tracks, kind of right there. Now I'm kind of debating what a guy should do here, because there is another spot. So it looked like, the other day they were putting castor up here. There is a spot right here that would actually probably be a pretty good spot to put my set to. We're going to see if I can get my thing drowned out here and maybe leave them alone right where they're at there and just move my set a little bit and see if that, because part of it is they have such a wide area there. I kind of had a few sticks blocking them down, so they'd hopefully, so they'd hopefully go over my trap, like this stick and, like these were all kind of stabbed in here, to kind of funnel them where I wanted them to be. But I've had 2 misses now in this trap, so, and I very rarely get misses. That's usually if that trap's set off, there's a catch waiting for you. So I'm getting some kind of funky catch, like catching his belly or something wonky's going on. So like I said, I'm wondering if I can get it moved over here, just give him something a little bit different and see if that changes anything. Well, we'll get both of these sets remade here and we'll move on. Well, the portable pocket strikes, but not with what it's supposed to. There's a raccoon right here in my portable pocket. He's got quite the mess. I could see the mess when I went by. I'm like, yes, I got something, but that's not what I want to have caught in there. So it's going to take me a minute. There's a raccoon right here, in case you were wondering. I don't know if I explained he's right here. I don't know how far he can get, so I'm not going to get too terribly close to him, but looks like a little bigger raccoon. I mean, it's still probably young of the year, but isn't as small as some of them that I've caught in my water sets. So, all right, like I said, we'll get him out of there. And then down here, we got my float right out here. And for the 3rd day in a row, it looks like I have a catch. Let's see, this is the one that the trap is knocked off. There you go. First muskrat out of this slough here. So I'll get my float remade here, and then we'll get that raccoon dispatched, and then we'll continue checking the rest of these sets. Alright guys, so I'm just across the road. I did pull out my colony traps. I didn't think I had anything in there until I had them all the way out, and then I did have one. He was all the way the opposite end. So we got 3 here so far. And then both of these sets, are set off, but that one don't got nothing in it today. And there we go, we got a fourth one here. So I think 2 checks in a row. I almost think I had doubles here. So 4 out of this sioux this today. We got basically 1 big sioux left to check, and I'm going to pull 2 of those sets and then a bunch of landlines, and we'll be on our way home. All right, we're to the last sioux here, kind of right in the corner. There is a muskrat house right over here that I actually didn't even notice until just right now. So foothold right there, conibear right here. Foothold's still working. We got ourselves a muskrat in that one. All right, and I got 2 sets across the road over here we're gonna pull. And then I got a few sets down there where this muskrat hut is, where the culvert is. So we'll go down and check them quick. Of course, when I go to pull these sets, it's the day that they make a catch finally. But the 110 was just set off. The bait's even gone off the trigger. My foothold, both of the baits are already knocked off of there, but we did get a pretty decent sized muskrat. But these 2 suck. I guess there is a little house here, but these cattails are horrendous to walk through. They're real clumpy and they ain't solid. So you one step you're on them, the next step you're knee deep in muck. So like I said, these 2 just suck to check. Gonna save me, a few minutes even just to, walking out here every day to check them. So, and I got plenty of other sets in this sioux to catch them. So we'll get these pulled and get out of here. All right, so we're by where the culvert goes under. Again, the big part of the sioux here. The smaller part there. I got my float and a mink set over there. All those traps are still working. But over here, so again, the culvert's right over here. I can't put my colony trap in there because there's a great big rock right in the middle of the culvert. Foothold here is still working. But this trap here has got a muskrat in there. All right, so I only have a couple more trail sets to check, and then it's all landlines from here on home. Well, everyone, I was had. Yeah, trap is just chilling right here. I had a pull out here. It is a raccoon. I don't want to touch that with my bare hands. Oh, that made it worse. So there's 1 toe right here. 1 raccoon claw. But over, and then I do have another set. I didn't really explain where I'm at. So here I got this drainage ditch. It runs over to the tree line over there. Going this way, it runs all the way up towards this house and then back over by this grove. So perfect spot for coyotes out here. I have a set over there I caught a raccoon in already. This one here I caught a fox in, the first fox of the year, a few days ago. And then to try and stop raccoons from plugging up my sets, I got a dog proof right down here in the bottom of the drainage ditch. And then on this side I have another dog proof. It is right here, and there is a raccoon in my dog proof. I don't know if you guys can see him a little better. Doesn't look like a very big one. I'm guessing one of his runnermates. I mean, there's all kinds of tracks down here in the mud. I mean, some old, some new the way it looks, but yeah, it goes through this culvert here. But got a raccoon in the dog proof. He made a pretty good muddy mess of the whole situation here. He's pretty muddy himself, but we stopped this guy from plugging up my other coyote set, unless he's the one that was caught in my coyote set up there, which is, I doubt it. I'm guessing his running mate was caught up there, and so yeah, all right. That makes the 3rd raccoon of the day. We're 1 short of my all-time season best, so that makes 40. This one's 41 for the year, so we'll get this guy out of there, and we'll go up and get that coyote set remade, and we'll move on. I only got a couple water sets left to check. Otherwise, I got about a dozen or so land sets to check. So hopefully not a dozen. Well, maybe there is a dozen land animals, but we'll see. I got a dozen traps. We'll see how many of them have anything in there. But it's a decent sized raccoon. He's bigger than any the other two I got already today. So we'll give him a free ride home. All right, we're to the last sets of the day, and the sun is shining. Haven't seen the sun in about 4 days. So we just got this culvert here. We got a trail set here, one there, one over here. That one and this one are still working. I had the big muskrat over there yesterday. But I can see right in here, we got a muskrat right there. So we'll get him out of there and set remain. These are the last water sets of the day. So I don't know, it put me right about 40 muskrats for the day. I don't even know, kind of lost count. So we'll get him out of there and we'll get moved on. Well, silly me thinking I was going to get through the entire line without this happening. I'm down to, this is the third to the last trap. So 2 traps after this. And there he is. There is a skunk right here in my trap. Just got a dog proof. A drainage just goes across this chunk of CRP. It goes across the road and then down this way. I had a skunk caught here 3 days ago, something like that. A real big skunk. This one doesn't look real big, but either way, like I said, it's kind of close quarters when you get down in there, so I don't want to film down in there. But yeah, so he's right here. I'm trying to get so I can see. Yeah, he's right here in my dog proof. Doesn't really have much for stripes the way it looks, or either that he's just super dirty, but he don't look real dirty. He just doesn't look like he's got much for stripes. But all right, yeah. Like I said, he's right here. We'll go get down in there, see if we can get him dispatched without him spraying me. And like I said, we only got 2 traps left, and we'll be home. All right, pretty darn successful run on the line again today. I did not feel quite as pressured today as I did yesterday. First part of my line was dead this morning. I mean, the land line was pretty dead altogether today, which, when you catch 11 land animals yesterday, raccoons, skunks, and coyotes, it's not surprising that the next day is going to be a little bit slower. The weather, there wasn't a big weather change that got the animals up and moving more than normal. So yeah, we ended up with more of a normal catch today. So the water line did excellent again. Did better than I thought, honestly. I figured I was around 40 muskrats, but we did a little better than that. We'll show you here in a second. I did pull 4 raccoon sets, and I pulled 9 muskrat sets today. But I did add a beaver set. So where I got the beaver house there, I only had 2 sets there. I'm only going to probably do 2 checks again on that thing, and then we're pulling out of there. So if there is another beaver, which I'm sure there is, I'm hoping maybe in the next 2 checks here we get him caught. If there's more than that, even if there's a family, let's hope that there's 3 waiting for me tomorrow, because I got 3 sets there now. So I pulled 9 muskrat sets. To me, they were some of the worst ones, the ones that took me the longest, and some that I felt like didn't have as much potential as others to make catches. And then, yeah, so just flat out, I just pulled 9 of them. I had 101 out, so I'll be down to 92 tomorrow. Yeah, still, I ended up at roughly 45% catch rate today, which is pretty ridiculous. I had over 50 yesterday, so I don't know. All right, let's go through the catch here a little bit, and then we're going to get skinning. I did want to make a point, too. I'm home roughly 2 hours, maybe not quite that hour and 45 minutes sooner today than yesterday. Again, I didn't feel as stressed going through the line. I could tell right as soon as I started checking water sets that it wasn't going to be as busy of a day as it was yesterday, so felt a little more relaxed out there. I did pull The raccoon set that I had the last raccoon in, he had that thing balled up with mud. I don't know if I could have got enough mud out of it to keep it working if it starts freezing, which, eventually here it's going to do. So I just pulled it. I left the stake there. I could always put a clean set in there. And then in the abandoned farm place where I've got 3 skunks in the back of that chicken coop now, I had a double 220 box there, which is now sitting in the back of my side-by-side over by that house. And then on the far greenery that's to the far south, I had a dog proof there. Nothing's even knocked my golf ball off, but I have to walk all the way around all those buildings every day. And again, not that it's that much time, but I feel like I'm wasting my time checking the empty sets there. So the double 220 box, I'm actually going to put in my yard right out here. See if I catch any skunks or raccoons right in the yard. I doubt I will, but I didn't think I was going to catch one in my barn a few days ago either. So we're going to go drop that off before I start skinning here. And yeah, the other dog proof. I do have one more dog proof that I'm going to pull. I have to get out of my truck and walk down a real rocky bank to get down to the top of the big culvert to look over the edge to see my dog proof because it's right at the edge of the culvert. I had a big raccoon caught in there a few days ago that was half under the big culvert there, and it was a rodeo getting him out of there. I put a big rock right where he was under there, so if I make another catch, it can't go under there. But the other sets there I can see from the road, and I don't have to walk down. Like every day I darn near slip and fall on those rocks, and it's not worth it. So tomorrow morning when I almost pulled it this morning too. I thought about it and I'm like, we'll leave it, because once water trapping's done, I'll be checking just land sets. So I want every land set out I can get, but that's not one that's worth checking. So we're going to pull that one in the morning too. With all that said, not to be a bummer on pulling sets. I don't want to be pulling sets in the middle of the season, but we need to be a little more efficient, and some sets aren't that efficient to check. So we'll go through the catches. So we had the first little raccoon caught in that coyote set back behind that hobby farm. We had the great big one that I just caught in the drainage ditch there. And then we got the wet guy that I caught in my mink set there. It's a portable pocket. I know people use pocket sets to target raccoon in particular. I don't want to be catching them. It's just, like these two are young of the year raccoons. This one's probably a little smaller than this one, but it's not a very big raccoon, and the value of that raccoon is just not hardly there for the effort I put in. So yes, I caught him in a mink set. I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to let him go. So obviously I'm going to skin him and put him up, and same thing with this little fella on the end, but I'd rather be catching ones like this guy. Not that this one's huge. He's probably 18 pounder, but that's more the size of raccoon I want to be catching, that and bigger. So over here we got the last catch of the day. I thought I was going to make it through the whole line without catching one today. It'd have been the first check I think this whole season I didn't get one, but I mentioned that he didn't have stripes. So back here you could see like he's got kind of real thin spotty stripes, but then right here there's a stretch where he don't even have a stripe at all, and then probably right here there's no stripe. So he's got like a little tuft of white here and here, but he's no stripe. I don't know. I did get him dispatched without him spraying, so I'm going to probably try and put him up. And then we got all these guys. So there are 21 on this side of my truck. And honestly, I just lay them out here because you could kind of see that they're dripping dry or running a little water off of them. Yesterday there was a decent breeze, so they actually kind of, they do dry if there is a little breeze. And then on this side, so we got 6 on the bottom row, and then there's 19 on the top row. So if you're good at math, you'll know that's 25 on this side. And like this one here was one of the last ones I caught. That is a big muskrat. I mean, that's a 2XL muskrat. He's bone dry. And this one here is nice and dry too, fluffy dry. But yeah, so 25 on this side, and we got 21 on that side. 46 today out on the line. So, man, I start out keeping a rough count in my head as we go, but I figured we were right about 40. So definitely did better than I thought. Got a little bit of work ahead of me to get those put up. You know, luckily three raccoons and a skunk is significantly less land animals, so I won't have 5 hours of skinning. It took me 2 hours and 22 minutes to skin the 53 muskrats last night. So I'm guessing I got probably right about 2 hours worth to get all these done. And then, yeah, probably an hour to get the raccoons and the skunk taken care of. So 3 hours, and I'm several hours ahead of where I was yesterday to start off with. So still be in the dark before I get done. So I think we'll let you guys go. But yeah, pretty relaxing day, or a little more relaxing day on the line than yesterday. I was stressed yesterday all day. Like as soon as I got going, had, you know, raccoon caught in the first set and the other one was set off, the other coyote set. So I mean, and then coyote shortly after that, and a skunk in that barn or in that chicken coop. I was stressed because I knew I was already behind where I wanted to be, and I was behind all day. And the catches just kept piling up and slowing me down. The highlight of that whole day was to catch that big beaver in there. You know, I'm kind of looking forward because it was the only beaver sets I have out right now. It's like, okay, can I get him caught? Is there one there? And to catch that big guy, you know, that kind of boosted my spirits a little bit towards the end of my line yesterday. But I knew it was going to be a long night skinning, and it was like 25 after 10 by the time I got done actual skinning. And then by the time I got, you know, the muskrats in the freezer and got everything else kind of put away and picked up, it was close to 11 by the time I got done. So it'll be earlier than that tonight. All right, one last look. We got 3 raccoons, the old stinker, and 2 lineups of the old muskrats. So, all right, we're going to get after skinning all these guys. Again, I appreciate you guys riding along with me. I don't want to act like, or I don't want to portray that I'm complaining about catching too many animals. I'm just exhausted. I'm just flat out exhausted. So, yeah, I feel pretty good. My mind's in a little better place tonight than it was last night. So, yeah, like I said, I think we pull one more raccoon set tomorrow. And then I think we'll probably have the line out we'll be running for the next few days for sure. Now it's just a matter of figuring out when I'm going to actually pull the whole water line. Deer season starts here in a few days. I was hoping to pull it before that, but now, I mean, the weather's supposed to be good. If I can maintain the line I have out right now, I may leave out a bunch of the water line through the start here of, because you get through basically the first weekend of deer season and then things kind of chill out a little more again. So, you know, I don't want to pull some of the water line and then put it back out either. So, all right. Yeah, so I need to figure out that. Otherwise, I need to get skinning. So, I appreciate you guys riding around with me. Appreciate you putting up with me. We'll see you guys out on the line tomorrow.